Neil Goldberg, who is an executive producer or senior producer for ESPN, was caught wanking off while looking into his neighbor's window.
Disaster.
She was dressing, and she says that he was standing on a stool looking through her window as she was dressing, and then they made eye contact, and he freaked out and ran into his house.
Well, give him credit for that. I mean, it would have been weirder if he stayed. Apparently, he was caught in the act of masturbation.
Right.
My favorite part of the story is the stool.
Right.
Because I could just picture him be like, oh man, she's hot. I got to check this thing out, right? He's like, I can't quite reach it. I can't quite reach it. I'm going to go grab a stool. What are you doing, guy? What are you guys are so terrible. Like, they're so sad. I feel terrible for this guy. I mean, I feel much worse for the woman.
Right, right.
But this poor son of a bitch, that's it. His life is ruined. He's always going to be known as the pervy wanker dude.
Right, literally.
Jayar Jackson.
I have my own bit of advice. Maybe it's not necessarily just to women, but we'll send it towards women for this. Close your fucking blinds. I don't understand it, and it's one of those things. You know, I'm gonna make a broad generalization. Let's do this. White folks don't close their blinds. They don't do it. I don't know why.
Randomly, this story got racialist.
I don't know why. I mean, there's certain things that certain groups of people do, and that's just something that's just I've noticed. If you people,
oh, you noticed it. So why you've been walking
well,
by white people's windows?
Yeah,
You white moron.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
I played the wrong one, though. That was funny.
No,
That's
but it's-
JR saying,
You white moron.
close your windows.
Yeah, you know why? Because I've lived with white folks before. I've had roommates, and they freak out because I close the blinds. I was like, what's the problem with closing blinds and locking doors? I don't understand this. Because then you figure out, I can't believe somebody was looking at them. It is wrong, but I have a good way to make sure your ass isn't seen by everybody in the neighborhood. Close your blinds and your curtains, too.
You bring up a really interesting point, because prior to reading the details of the story, I thought that he was in his house and she was by her window in her house undressing, and he happened to see her changing, and he's like, oh, well, he pulled it out and do whatever you did, right?
I like I don't know how this guy got so much sympathy in this story. I don't know what happened here, right? And it's like, well, what could he do? I mean, he saw the naked chick. He had to pull it out. He pulled, like Favre, when in doubt, pull it out.
No, because JR makes a good point.
Okay.
It's a bad idea to change as a woman, as I'm assuming she's an attractive woman, change in front of a window where you're visible. Of course guys are going to wank off to you.
Of course. Okay. You might be right. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, it's not of course, but
I hope it's not of course.
Right.
Look, it's of course that perhaps somebody would, right?
Right.
Not the whole neighborhood,
but
I
it's
hope.
definitely of course somebody's going to see you.
Right,
Okay?
yes.
And if you don't want people seeing you, then JR is right. Close your blinds. But the reason why this guy is 100% guilty is he went the extra mile. He brought the stool along with him. He placed it right in front of the window, took a step up, pulled it out, and did his business.
No.
Okay.
That's why I told you the stool's the key.
There's just certain things that kind of invite insane people. Leaving your door unlocked and opening your blinds. Some people, this guy probably is like, yeah, she wants me to see it. And we'll go and look at you undressing, because people come up with these weird thoughts in their head because they like you or something. It's just an easy way to solve all these things. I don't understand why people don't get it. It seems so easy. But it's not her fault. I'm not saying that. But damn, come on, dude. Is it that hard?
All right. Now,
That's how you get robbed. People walk by and be like, oh, I see that big ass TV in your house. Oh, very nice. Oh, and everything else. I'll be by there when they're gone.
well, if that's how you're thinking, Jayar Jackson, if you're walking around with a stool, yeah, I'm not surprised by this.